Let's move on to the conversation this morning. And today we're going to be talking about responding to emergencies, the LASEMA blueprint. And joining me to shed light on that is Bosun Olukolade, who is Head Special Duties and Camp Commandant for LASEMA. Olukolade, it's nice to have you. Good morning.
Good morning.
And you're welcome to Traffic Radio. Great. So let's talk about emergency response, because I know that in recent time you guys have been responding to lots of emergencies. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about that. How often do we have these emergencies in state?
Emergency knows no band. It can happen at any time. So as you know, that we are already prepared for it. That at every second, every minute of our lifetime, we see emergencies that happen. And it's in the various degrees of emergencies. So that's what we see around Lagos. And as you see that, and all of us know that Lagos is a mini country.
All right.
We talk as Lagos, we are talking like a nation. So all tribes of the world are here. The businesses and all corridors are being occupied with one or two other things. So in this side, you see that anything can happen from any other corridor, both on the water, on land, on the air, in the marketplaces, even in our homes.
Right.
So we are fully prepared, and that's why you see LASEMA response team attending to emergency at all areas of Lagos.
let's see some of the ones that you guys have been responding. What kind of emergencies have you been responding to in recent time?
The recent time you got fire incidences, as you know, that even early this year of the explosion that happened in two areas of Lagos State, the Abule-Egba axis and the Abule-Ado axis. Even currently, not too long now, you see the Motion Market, you see the Lagos fire incidences. So it happens all around the corridor of Lagos.
And of course, the building collapse as well.
It's just what happened in Lagos.
So the frequency is higher these days, it appears. And each time, once you're called, what comes to your mind? Do you guys think of the cause, or perhaps you think of how to get rescue first?
When things happen like this, you know we have already prepared for it, because we have our responders at all our units. And as the call just came in through the 767-112, our emergency number, it comes into the control room up, and the commander there at the command center there just called in to the nearest or the centers that is close to that incident. And as soon as they just come like that, we move straight into that place. So we've already prepared for it. It's what we have been trained for. It's what we are doing on daily basis. So it's 24-hourly and no holiday. That's just it.
All right. Okay, then. So how do you determine what kind of, let's put it this way, because I know that you guys have lots of facilities that you use to, respond to this emergency. So how do you determine what emergency would require this kind of equipment?
Okay, when the call came in through the 767-112, it goes into the control room, and we have somebody over there, the officers that are there. They tell us, because we need to request for what type of emergency that happens. So we'll be able to know the type of equipment we deploy to that incident scene. And again, when those are people, the officers that are at this center, the units that are closer to that place, move into the scene of emergency, they will just do what we call sight scene. They will first sight the scene, they will see it, they will look at it, and look at the prompt equipment that will be needful for that emergency, and they call back the control room for the release of those equipment for the operation.
Right. So let's talk about equipment now and the facilities. How equipped is LASEMA for emergency response?
Thank God we are well equipped. As you can see all over, we have nearly all things that you need for emergency, to respond to any emergency in the state. We have the crane, we have what we call the crane, is what we call our Charlie. We have the forklift that we called the Goliath. We have the tow truck. We have both the light one, the heavy one. We have the equipment, the excavators, all of them. So we prepare for it, both the fire, the building collapse, might even be the explosion. That's why we see us that we move in straight into those emergency as soon as we just confirm the nature of the emergency.
Right. So it means that you guys are well equipped. What's the newest thing now that LASEMA is deploying to respond to these emergencies? Because I know that apart from this equipment, what else in terms of technology that would enhance the operations of LASEMA?
Yes. As you can see, the waterways now, very like what is happening on the waterways now at our dispatch center at Lekki. We have the jet ski, we have the speedboat, the rescue boat. We have that on the water as on aquatic waterways. And when we are talking of all this, we have the DELSA, we have the SAS camp. Those are new equipment that are coming. We have even the lifter, we have the cutter.
Come again. That's on the waterways. DELSA, you call it?
Oh, you have just on the waterways, not the DELSA.
Okay.
The DELSA works for building collapse or any other rescue.
Oh, okay.
So we have the light rescue equipment that we call both the spreader. So we have the spreader, we have the combi, we have the cutter.
Right.
So we just prepare for it. Those are new thing that is coming in. We have the lifter. We have another one that is coming right now. It's a breaker. That when we come into a place and we see that we have little constraint about it, so we use the breaker to compress those things.
So for instance, if people are trapped in a building, what kind of equipment do you use for that?
When someone is trapped in the building, we first use the DELSA or the SAS camp. We trace where the life is. You know, when you are talking of emergency, you think of those ones that will be rescued alive first,
right,
before those that have even
so that's the way you can identify where a life is. Someone who's still living is in the building.
Yes, that is the way we identify. So that's what the essence of the SAS camp and the DELSA that we use. So when we get into that, we first look into that and move in those people because they are alive. And those one are the first point that we need to address into. And when you have the one that's dead, we can't just confirm at the scene that someone is dead. We have to rescue everybody that are trapped in the structure. Because when you don't do it that in the technique way, yes, the technique you use to bring those people out of the building.
Right.
If you don't use it, because what really kills, what destroys mostly in emergency, in accident or building collapse, are the way people, our bystanders, our concerned people outside.
Yeah, the people that want to help.
They want to help. They just come in, the way they rescue those people, the way they move them, really cause a lot of havoc and a lot of problems on the side of the victim.
Right.
So that's why we always appeal to them that in as much you just see the responder that comes in, let's use the new technology, let's use our training, let us move them out so that we get them right. If you may recall that of the Synagogue Church of Nation, so when we got in there, they were thinking that maybe we are not want to do this, want to do so until our DG come into that thing and appeal to them. So we first look into a place. As we just use one of our equipment to open a place, we remove over 45 persons alive at that place.
People were trapped.
Yes.
And if not for that intervention, they would have died. Ooh, okay.
People have died.
All right. So it appears you guys seem to have all it takes, technically and technologically as well, to embark on these things. But there are one or two constraints, and that is how you get to such locations. Talk to me about that. In terms of people giving you right of way for you to get to scenes of emergency, how has that changed?
Well, it has changed little. We are still appealing to Lagosians. We are appealing to humanity. We are appealing to Nigerians and whoever concerns on the road. Whenever we have the sound of all this siren, when we are blowing, we are going. We are not just going to a marketplace. We are not just going to do our own daily. We are not just going for fun. We are going to rescue. You don't know, either it's your family or my family that are trapped. Please give us. That's why we always say pull over to your right, to the left. In as much you just add the sound of the siren, please give us the way, because our people will always be asking, where are they going? Where are they going? And they do not know that life matters. And the hour, the one we call a golden hour, that's the time within life and death. And we just need to move into that. And you know the road in Lagos and the areas as we occupy it, the market on the street and every other person. So even at time we get to a place, we'll be appealing to the women that are selling, they have the chaos on the street, or they call the cake clamps. We'll be appealing to them to just remove their market so that we allow us to have the way. And they will be shouting, they will be talking that what are they doing, what are this. And when we get to the scene of incident, people should please give us the right, the way. We will ask that they allow us to do the job. Something happened somewhere in Lagos Island. Somebody was even present that is the family. I'm a doctor.
Right.
That is my family. I have to remove. So at the end of the day, they removed. They just sent us. They really treated us not good.
Wow.
But at the end of the day, it was too painful that they forced the lady out of that trap object, and eventually the lady died.
Yes,
but by the
instead of waiting for the experts to come and do it,
we are even doing it. But by the side of that lady, the other two families that are not even being
attended to.
No, they don't even know they were there. But because we are using the technology, we are using what we have, we are using the equipment, we'll be able to discover those ones, and they were all removed, and we will rescue alive.
Wow.
And they're happy with their family now.
Which is good. All right, so let's come to the source of information for these emergencies. I know that for over 10 to 11 years now, we've been talking about the emergency response lines. That's in Lagos, 767 and 112. And there have been complaints in recent time of the efficiency of those numbers. So what's happening?
I don't think there is deficiency on that line. And as you and me know about this network that is failing sometimes now. So it might be the network problem. And at times in Lagos, in a day we record over 30,000 calls.
Right.
So when people are calling, and if the line is jammed, you will not be able to get that line on time. We appeal to the people to still keep calling, because as you are calling, somebody is calling and when somebody is receiving a call, you will not be able to pick the one that is coming. So when you try again, you will still definitely get that call and pass the information.
Okay.
At times in the scene of incident, that anything happen, you may see 100, 200 persons calling at the same time. Just 76712, because all of them want to reach. And what we just need is about, maybe we get the first one, the second one that are reaching us, we'll be able to move around that at that time to save the situation.
Okay, so do you have a 24 hours operation at the control room?
Yes, sir. It's 24 hours.
Because I know in the early hours, sometimes when people call our station by 5 o'clock, they say they started an impediment. There's a truck somewhere broken down, there's an accident, and they've called the control room, they've called the emergency lines, and there was no response.
No, there's nothing like that, sir. Because even we and LASEMA, we still have another line, LASEMA line, that is a WhatsApp number.
Okay.
So when they are calling that, they even send it to our WhatsApp so we see it. But what happened is this, that if the crane, maybe they are doing one or two things, and maybe they are in the other side of emergency, the tow truck, they are attending to other emergency in other places of the state. And there is something happened at Abliegba, and they were at Onike, Yaba. So we have to finish Onike, or somebody is at Maitu, and so we just have to finish. Anyone that finished, we don't direct him from that place. Right, you send it back to Abliegba.
All right.
So we just.
So that means there's need for more in terms of building capacity. Then
we think we are expecting the governor.
All right, then. So let's see if we can communicate or connect with you out there as well. You have any concern, any question for Bosun Olukolade, who is the head of special duties as well as camp commandant for LASEMA? Feel free to join the conversation on 0809 912-0777. Okay, that's 0809 912-0777. All right, then. So even as we continue with that, let's see if we can take this one that's coming in. Also, hello there.
Hello.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. My name is Additional Tiamiu.
All right, that's Additional Tiamiu, former General Manager for LASEMA. Talk to us this morning. What's your area of interest?
Yes, I think first of all, let's commend LASEMA for doing a very good job in Lagos.
Okay.
The general belief is that what cannot be done in Lagos cannot be done elsewhere, and that's the whole truth. I know that a lot of things happen in Lagos which majority of our people do not know. I will be sad to see anybody attack emergency workers anywhere in Lagos,
right,
in Nigeria, because these are people who are taking their own lives to help other people.
That's very true.
And like Bosun said, when you have an activity going on in an area, there's a need for all of us to stay clear of that area to allow these people to do. A lot of these damages come because people want to see what they are doing, and in so doing, they impair on their activities. There's that tension that happens when anything bad happens.
Right.
You understand that.
Right.
But there's also the need to calm down. Equipment cannot be enough. We cannot have enough. That's the truth.
Okay.
When you have an equipment working in a scene and there are other calls coming in, it takes tact and distinction to be able to know how do I deploy, and that's what LASEMA has been doing. But traffic in Lagos is another major challenge.
Right.
And they cannot fly on the air. And these are heavy equipment that need space to meander through traffic. traffic.
So let me ask you now, additional Tiami, in projecting forward, I mean, considering the fact that we have traffic and congestions that could delay response time when you have multiple emergencies. So can't you be looking forward in the next 10 to how many years? Can't you be thinking of using airplanes or helicopters for rescue?
That's not bad. That's not bad. Imagine if there's a building collapse in Epe today, God forbid. They will have to move those equipment by road to Epe. But then there's also the need for us to have some people on ground to start mitigation process, to cordon off the area, to ensure that people don't even put themselves in harm's way. So if you begin to now have helicopters, if you begin to have LASEMA on the waterways, that's not a bad idea. And I think Lagos is going towards that. I know that there was a time when we were talking of an helicopter for LASEMA. It is not going to be a bad idea if you can fly rescue workers across the sea to a distant location while equipment are coming. Because there are things they do even before the equipment come. People are trapped. There are nurses who could pass drips even to people under the debris of the collapsed building. They give them drips to sustain their life. We've done it in a lot of places in Lagos.
Right.
The tanker, fell on a car on my 12 bridge one day, and for more than 3 hours, we were feeding this man with drips, and successfully we took him out even with some injuries. But I'm sure the man is alive today.
Wow.
It will be a very terrible situation sometimes.
Right.
But LASEMA and other emergency responders are trained to mask their emotion. You don't even see in their faces, but they're also human beings. They feel it.
Right.
They feel it.
Okay,
we
then.
come back to the office and we begin to think about, oh my God. But that oh my God will not come.
When you are working.
That's why you see people say, no, it's not like that.
Right. But do we have enough in terms of manpower for these responses, this emergency response in the country? Or perhaps, let's put it here to Lagos.
We will be feeling it if they don't have. I'm sure they have, but it cannot be enough. So if Mr. Governor add more to the strength of LASEMA, it only means you are going to make it easier for them to work. It cannot be too much. I think they have enough to do the little they are doing now. But if you give them more staff, of course it will mean they will spread their branches to various locations in Lagos.
Okay. All right. So before I let you go, additional Tiamiu, there are some places we refer to as dark spots for emergencies. And so these are areas where emergencies occur repeatedly. For instance, Kala Bridge, Otedola, all these areas. What would you suggest for us to have quicker response at such locations? Should we have... I think
Dr. Osoitolu is doing wonderfully well, and I'm in communication with him regularly. I must say this, and I give it to him. Now, you have... I drive through that area, and I see that there is a team by the toll gate. It means for you to get to incidents on time. It has gone beyond sitting in your offices and then running from one end of the state to the other. No, you are taking emergency closer to those dark spots. That's why you see an ambulance there and a tow truck. Usually what we have on that axis are mainly accidents. And these are the equipment you need. You need a tow vehicle to tow up the vehicle, and you also need the paramedics or the nurses or the medical people. And they are there at toll gate. It doesn't take 5 minutes to race from toll gate to Otedola Bridge. And that's a wonderful thing that I've seen them do. I also saw their vehicle somewhere around that Western Avenue. You know, traffic has been diverted towards that area now.
Right.
And you expect that there will be more activity around that area. They are doing all of that. So for me, all they need now is both support of the government to improve on their services and also support of the people.
Okay.
So that we will make sure that they do their work very well.
All right.
For now, they are doing well.
Okay then. All right. It's nice connecting with you. Additional Tiamiu, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. That's the General Manager, former General Manager for LASEMA. Also adding his voice to the conversation this morning. Let's hear from you as well. What do you make of it, and how do you think we can make emergency response much more in terms of taking it to the next level? All right. So you can connect with us on 0809 9120777. Hello there.
Good morning, sir. Well done, sir.
All right. Who am I speaking with?
Elilubo is on the line.
Elilubo. Nice to hear from you. Where are you on the road?
It's a pleasure. Presently, I'm still in Papa Ajao.
All right. Go ahead then.
I'm not on the road, yeah. I want to commend LASEMA and the Lagos State government. They are doing wonderfully well. But there is room for improvement. Sometimes I have had opportunity to be saved by them. When I had an accident and somebody called and they were there in Chinku, I equally called and they responded. But these days I discovered that when you call, they don't pick the calls on time. That's one thing. They don't pick it on time. I don't say they don't pick on time.
On time, okay.
When I have called, they pick and respond and come to the rescue. And later on, call me back that, I say, yes. I think they need to work more on that. Now, to the Lagosians, we need to give them rules. Whenever I hear an ambulance in my own car, whenever I hear any sound of the siren, I just pull over and park by one side and let them go. But you see, Lagosians, they will become heavy. What is this? Even commercial vehicle drivers. So we need, as Lagosians, to give them right of way whenever they come for rescue missions.
All right,
even
then.
On the streets and every other place.
Very good.
Lagos State and Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Elelubo. All right. Right of way should be given to these emergency responders anytime we come across them. All right. You have any comments? Feel free to join us 0809-912-0777. Good morning.
Hello, Davito.
Hola. Good morning.
Good morning. I've been trying to get you. This is Grandma Aladisomi.
Oh, Grandma. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah. There's a one church in Olukolade Road. You know, when you get that privilege to come through Oterola from the bridge, there's a main road that links to LASEMA.
Right.
And you can make use of it to go and join the express again. There's a building there that the man is trying to build on top of again. And 2 days ago, I tried to get you. Even you have the insurance program, I couldn't get you.
Ooh.
I'm lucky to get you this morning. I'm only the listener. I'm one of the listeners.
I know your name. You're always very prominent on our Yoruba belt. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you send somebody to come and see? Because when they were trying to reinforce that, which means the building is weak and the place is shaking. About 2 days, on Thursday. Yes. And the man is trying to put another structure on top. It's supposed to be 4 flats, but about 6 families there now with a self-contained pool there.
Okay.
And this is a busy road from Todela Estate, right to Unilag, to police station Sherry, back to Prince here, to Lura Junction. It's 29 Old Olukolade Road.
All right. We've taken note of that. Madam, we'll get in touch with you after the program.
Please, thank you.
All right, then. Thank you very much. So, anybody who is doing illegal building, will connect that to the Lagos State Building Control Agency. They will come there for inspection and perhaps stop that kind of building. Let's hear from you this morning on your side mirror. We're talking emergencies and how best we can step it up right here in Lagos. Talk to me and share your thoughts with us. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, who am I speaking with?
My name is Olukolade. I'm calling from Olukolade.
Go ahead, Afolabi.
Okay, the job they're doing is all right, but they need to improve.
Okay.
On 2 things. They need to improve on the way they move. The government needs to help about that. And they need to improve on the customer service, the people they put on the phone. I've called them on Olukolade Road some times ago when there's an accident, a car tumble around Ogolonto. Up for like 2 hours. Nobody even picked this call or call me back. I have to call the radio station to tell them that container are further no.
Okay.
So if the service radio start announcing it before people start rushing down and trying to help. So they need to improve the service. They're doing well, but it's not well enough.
Okay.
So that is my own contribution.
Thank you so much for that customer response. And I think this is something that Bosun will be taking away. He said it that most of the time when people call, especially the emergency lines, it appears the response is very slow. Let's hear from you. Hello there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Olukolade is my name.
Olukolade. Nice to hear from you. Go ahead, sir.
I'm LASEMA for the good job they are doing, especially their Director General. But I must confess, like the last speaker just said, the response, I think they should work in collaboration with the previous local government council or the LCDA and let them have volunteers on ground. And these people should not just be volunteers, they should be trained personnel. They might not necessarily be on their payrolls because most of the people that rush to most of these emergency venues, some of them are just there as well. You see them holding, doing video recording or something. So if they are doing 25 people at the grassroots, at the community levels, you see, rushing out to this place, they know they have to do a sort of rescue operation. And allow LASEMA to do their job. So what they should do is to make sure they train people at the various local government level and have them like sort of stand by, know what to do at a very particular. It should be part of their enlightenment, public enlightenment should be part of their assignment after this. So they are doing a good job. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Let me get back to Bosun on this. So he's talking about volunteers, and I know Olukolade, the last caller I just called, that's Aluko. He's a prominent person. His voice is very, very active, especially on the areas of volunteering in the community. So are you guys engaging such people to ensure that you spread this message so that people can, help you guys out when there's an emergency?
Thank you very much, sir. As I can confirm to you that the 57 local council chairmen in Lagos State are incident commanders of their local government. They have responders in their local government who have trained them. But you cannot, training is not enough. You need to train them more and train them more. But when they get to the scene of incident, even the community there are overwhelmed those people. They don't even allow them to even cordon off the site. They don't even want to allow them to do anything. So when they don't allow us to allow those people to do it, how can we get to rescue those people?
All right.
And as they are calling, those people will still be calling us. So we all move together and do it together.
All
so
right.
we still appeal to Lagosians to please, whenever there is an emergency, you see everybody wants to be part of it. Even he has said something now concerning the recording. Every person that around that place, they don't have a job, they don't have nothing to do around that place. It's just to record and be sending to all this Instagram or all this Facebook of a thing. So they should please desist from it and allow the emergency workers to do their job.
All right, let's talk about anyway. You've made a response to this, but it still keeps recurring. Most of those that I've called right now, I've talked about the emergency lines and you guys not responding on time. I hope you're going to take this away for improvement.
Thank you very much again. As we need to do more. Yes, but I still tell you that before, those who are calling the line might be 1,000 or 500, but now over 500,000 may be calling at the same time. Over 20,000 may be calling at the same time. So it's just like the line will jam, and it's only those ones that can get through. It's just like the program we are doing now. Maybe 10%, 20% are calling at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It is those who can clear in that will come in and do something. So this will please keep on, as the government is doing enough to improve on the services. So also we appeal to the people that when they are calling, they should not even relent, they should not even stop on that, and they should keep on calling, because the number of persons that are calling are so much now.
All right. So we have to bring this to an end, but I want to say a very big thank you to you. Your message to our people, even as we depart the program?
They should please see Lagos as their own. They should see that emergency knows one. Me that I'm talking, it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. And whenever you see somebody or anything that is in distress, please deem it fit. Just call the 767-112. And we are approaching the rainy season now. Again, please, indiscriminate dumping of refugees on our drainages causes a lot of flooding. There are a lot of issues that is happening that we need to let government know. If the government did not know on time and it happens, you will now be blaming the government. Please don't do that. If you see anything around that corridor, even a defect structure, please don't deem it free. Just call the 76712. Nobody will reveal your identity.
Okay.
Please let it be in our mind and let everybody take it inside their phone or on their head that 76712 is a toll-free and as an emergency number of the state.
All right then, Bosun, nice having you in the building. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, I've been speaking with Bosun Olukolade, who is head special duties and also camp commandant for LASEMA. Let me equally say a very big thank you to Dr. Femi Oke Osoyitolu, who is the Director General of LASEMA, who's made this possible this morning. We say a very big thank you to you.